Hey YouTube, Kier Qualia here, bringing you guys my Prism deck profile for August 2016. This is the updated version of my Prism deck with all the new support from Blessings of Diva. It's really fun, especially with the new vert strides, so let's go ahead and jump right into the deck profile. I run 4 Sunshine Vert. Basically, this card's the next stage of the Prism deck. It has a limit break as well, being one of the limit break strides, so you have to be at 4 damage to use this card. And you basically flip over a copy of this card and discard 3 cards at the end of the turn that this unit attacked. Not the turn, the battle. You can bounce 2 cards from your field, return this unit to your stride zone, unflip a copy of itself, and choose a grade 3 from your hand and ride it as stand. So you can basically get off a break ride if you have Vert as the Vanguard underneath this, with either Labrador or Vert or the new Garnet card. Also getting off multiple attacks using Labrador's effect as well. So it's good for additional attacks, and you can reach big numbers as well with the Break Ride skill and Labrador or Garnet as well. And I also run 4 Labrador stride. It's really cool that the grade 3s each have a stride. I think it'd be cool if Garnet gets one in the future as well. But Labrador gives plus 5,000 power to 2 units on the field, and after they boost or attack, you can bounce them back to your hand. So you can call Perfect Guards triggers for boost power and then return them to your hand safely to use for guarding on your opponent's turn. And I also run 2 Nectaria. This card is just for pressure when it hits. You can bounce a rear guard, call another, and it gets plus 5,000 for multiple attacks. And I also run 1 Alprina for bouncing power and 1 Amoris for easier bouncing power if you already have units on the field. And I also run for G Guardians 2 Nasha. If you have a unit that's the same grade as one on the field, this shield gets plus 5,000. You just have to reveal it to your opponent. And 2 Leona. This card lets you bounce a card on the field, then you can call another card from your hand. If you do, this card gets plus shield 5,000. So you can return a perfect card that's on the field back to your hand. You don't have to call the card you bounce. You just have to call something from your hand to get an additional plus 5 shield. So that's it for the stride zone. For grade 3s, I run 4 Prism Image Vert, probably the most important grade 3 in the deck. It's the Break Ride, which gets off a lot of plays with Vert. So you want to make sure that you always usually have her on the Vanguard when you stride into Vert, so you can get off your Break Ride skill, which is bounce 2, draw a card, and gives plus 10,000 to the Vanguard. And I also run 2 Labrador. When you Break Ride her, you can attack with her, then call 3 Prisms from your hand to the field. If you do, it gets plus 10 in a crit. So in total, with the Break Ride, you'll be attacking for 31,000. And also has a Counterblast 1 Prism bounce effect, which is also really good too for setting up open card fields. But you have to do that during the main phase. But the Break Ride should be enough to bounce 2 at least from your field back to your hand to reuse Labrador's effect. And I also run 2 Garnet. She's really good. Also, she has an effect where you counterblast 1 when a unit is returned. You can give plus 5,000 to her, so you can get her up potentially up to Labrador's power. It'll take 2 counterblasts, but still worth it in the long run. And her effect, you call 3 as well. You don't have to call them to open circles with her, but if you call 3, she gets ultimate break, drive check plus 1. So you'll basically be attacking for another stride triple drive, which helps for hand replenishing as well. And for grade 2s, I run 4 Celtic. Great pressure on the grade 2 ride. If you hit with her, you counterblast 1, bounce a rear guard, and you draw a card. So hand consistency with her, making your opponent really want to guard this card. And I also run 3 of the original Prism Promise Celtic. When she's returned to your hand, you can Soul Blast 1, give a unit plus 4,000 power. It's just good power boosts, especially like for solo rear guards, giving them plus 4, making it more viable to hit, making the 12k attacker, let's say, like a 16k attacker instead, which I run 2 of. 12k attacker if you have a Prism Vanguard. And I also run 2 Rosa. When another unit is returned, you can Soul Blast 1. If you have a Vanguard with limit break, and if you do, that unit gets plus 3,000. I also like running her because she's a search off of the clear critical along with Vert and the grade 1 clear. And for grade 1s, I run 4 of the Prism Perfect Guard, Araya. Just, you want to go pure Prism with this deck just because a lot of the effects are Prism specific counterblasts. So for her is pretty much the standard. And I also run 4 of the Limit Break. All the grade 3s in this deck are Limit Break, as well as the Stride for Vert. So you want to make sure you're always at Limit Break, so this card's very important for that. Only thing that's not is the Ultimate Break, so you have to go off of actual 5 damage for Garnet's effect, which isn't too difficult. Also 2 Layettes. This helps for power as well and unflipping damage because it is pretty counterblast heavy in the deck. And 2 Clears. It's the same effect as Celtic Soul Blast for plus 4,000 power. Other than that, it's also used for the Crit Search. And I also run 2 Emerald. This card helps just for more field clearing and power during the battle phase. When something bounces, you can bounce additional units. So clear out that field for Labrador's plays or Garnet's plays if you don't want to ride over units with, call over units with Garnet's effect. And for grade 0s, I run 1 Sapphire. When a grade 3 or greater card is placed on the Vanguard circle, you can return a rear guard back to your hand. Once again, more clearing effect, getting off effects like Layette, Celtic, Clear, whatever you need. And for triggers, I run 8 crit, so 4 Sunshine Clear, really good critical trigger. Basically, when this card's bounced, you can counterblast 1, reveal this card to your opponent. If you do, put it back on top of your deck and search for a card that's grade 1 or greater with Clear, Rosa, or Vert in your hand. So you can basically search out a grade 1, 2, or 3, which helps a lot of times, especially if you have Celtic's effect, you can bounce her, searching out your grade 3 so you won't be grade stuck, or even a grade 3 so you can stride with next turn. And then I also run 4 Canary for 8 crit, 4 Adria for draw trigger, and 4 Timer for the Prism heal trigger as well. So yeah, that's it for the deck profile. I hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and Kira Qualia out.